Welcome, everybody, to the Take Two podcast. We are here every Tuesday night. We are your Frame Brothers.
Get it.
I'm Jameson, accompanied by my brother Reed Frame, of course, talking all things football. Free agency frenzy is among us. The last 2 days have been crazy, crazy fun, that is. Players signing all over the place. Reed and I are going to do a mock draft tonight, kind of based on after the combine, the risers, the fallers amongst the signings from the last 2 days. We'll take those into consideration on how we're gonna play out these picks. So we got a first round mock draft for you guys today. Next week we'll touch base on free agency recap. We'll go over where everybody signed. Obviously today we'll kind of touch on a few guys as we're talking about the teams. But next week we'll do a full recap of team by team or big names for sure and stuff like that. Try to get you guys caught up on everything that happened throughout the first week. So we could do that today, but I want a couple more days of free agency signings so we have all the information before we kind of do a recap for you so we don't have to do it in two different videos. After that, we'll have some videos on positional breakdowns for the draft. Really excited about those, touching on the rookies. A lot of great rookies to talk about this draft. I'm really excited for this draft process, hence why we're doing so many mock drafts. And then we have one more mock draft coming up before the NFL draft that we will get you. And then after that, we'll be getting close to the NFL draft and it'll be a fun time. So without further ado, Reed, how you doing? You ready for
I'm
the
doing
week of
great.
football?
This is arguably my second favorite time of football. The first time is like the first time hearing commercial free 7 hours of commercial free football. That's got to be like my number one. This is up there, man. Free agency frenzy's going on. You're in doing work or whatever, and your phone just going ding 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 with NFL. No, it's a great feeling. And then your Seahawks sign Sam Darnold, and then you go, oh, not a Seahawks fan anymore. I'm just kidding. I'm a Seahawks fan. Um, we can talk about that next week, of
Yeah,
course.
we'll
This
touch
week,
back on that a little
we
more.
are doing some mock drafts.
We'll do a mock draft today. We'll do a kind of consensus one today. So me and Reed will kind of go back and forth and then kind of agree on a pick for the team instead of us going back and forth. So we'll have a little back and forth. My thoughts on who they should pick, Reed's thoughts on who should they pick. Kind of two different perspectives and also get a little more ideas on options for the team to pick for you. So we think it'll be a fun video for you guys. I'm excited for it. So Reed, we were talking before the video started. The one trade that a lot of people have been starting with, or the most common one, I think the odds for the number one overall pick of the Titans being traded is at like 60% based on like the odds right now. So it's more than likely that people think that Titans are going to trade out of number one. I think that the Giants are the number one suitor to come up from 3 to 1 since they have yet to sign a quarterback in free agency. And really, there's only Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson left available. So I don't think with Brian Dayball and the GM's jobs on the line that they aren't going to take advantage of this, trade away future draft capital that they might not be around to see anyways, and go and get their guy in this draft, which I believe to be Cam Ward. I don't know if that's what you have, but that's who I think they take.
I do too. I've kind of gone back and forth on Shadir and Cam Ward. Shadir's your better guy right now. I truly believe Shadir is a better quarterback right now. I think Cam Ward is the higher ceiling. I do think Cam Ward will be better. First game, first NFL game, I do think Cameron Ward will be better. But just, I guess, if you don't have a good coaching staff or something like that, you're in the NFL. I hope you have a good coaching staff. But I think Shadur won't develop as fast or as well as Cam Ward. He is still a good quarterback, but I do think Cam Ward is going to be better.
Yeah, you definitely get the higher ceiling, right? The traits that everybody likes to see in the quarterback. So I think it buys Brian Dable maybe even another year as a coach, even if this year doesn't go well. So I think that's the route and why I think they do that. So got that pick under the books. Got the Browns up next. A lot of people talking, do the Browns take a quarterback? Do the Browns take Abdul Carter? They did re-sign Myles Garrett, even though it didn't sound like they were going to at first, but they did. I think they end up taking a quarterback. I
I
think they
do
go
as well.
Shadur Sanders, just best available. You let him sit for a year, or you can push him into the starting role this year if you'd like. They have Kenny Pickett, who they traded for, which isn't great, but that is what it is. They're hurting.
Yeah, I think Shadur is kind of an easy pick here for you. I think there's a lot of excitement, like, hey, Miles Garrett, Abdul Carter duo would be dirty.
It
That
would
would
be.
be disgusting. I would be scared of that. I would be terrified. As much as tickets as I think that would sell, and as a business, I think that would be great. You could, it would definitely work. Don't get me wrong. You actually have to win games in the NFL, and I think the best way to win games is have a competent quarterback, and I think Shadur Sanders will fix that problem for the Browns.
That you do. That you do. That was pretty easy. Moving on to number three, the Titans, who traded down from one. Even if they stick at one, I still think that this is their pick regardless. I've liked this from the beginning. I think they go Abdul Carter, no questions asked. Best defensive player, probably best player in the draft, regardless of position. They lost Harold Landry. Um, they haven't signed anybody to replace him. You need a good pass rush in order to win in this league. Need I say more?
It's Abdul Carter, arguably the best player in the draft. He's going at three. 10, that's a steal in my book. I mean, best player in the class going at three. That's great value. Adds amazing versatility to that Tennessee defense, and it just a piece you can build the rest of your defense around for the next, what, 5 years, 6 years.
For sure. For sure. Here's where I probably think it gets interesting.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear you here.
So let's look at who the Patriots signed as their head coach, right? They signed Mike Vrabel, a defensive minded coach coming from Tennessee. He brought in Harold Landry, who the Titans cut. We just kind of brought up his name. What he's a defense as a defensive minded coach, he's gonna want to shore up his defense before he touches the offense, right? They have Drake May. Yeah, they'd like to get him some weapons. They have yet to sign anybody in free agency, though I guess they signed Mac Hollins. Whoop de doo.
Yeah.
I think they go Mason Graham here. I think he tries to shore up his defensive line, get a good pass rush, keep the games close, lean on his run game like he used to with Derrick Henry. So I could see the Patriots potentially going running back early in the second round to try and get a good run game going. But I think he builds up his defensive line and takes arguably the next best defensive player on the board right now. You could argue Travis Hunter as well, but Mason Graham to shore up the defensive line.
I do like it. I like it a lot. I see Mike Grable doing it, but I also think that the fan pressure, every fan, I'm telling you, is going to say Travis Hunter, right?
I agree. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, the fan pressure of the Patriots, everything, and this is where I'm kind of my selling point is Travis Hunter is a DB. That's your defense, right? The Patriots have actually some pretty good DBs. I mean, Christian Gonzalez is a pretty good D, better than pretty good DB. He's an excellent DB. Travis Hunter on the other side, that's an amazing DB duo. And now we add in that two-way player if he wants to keep playing, doing that in college. I mean, we don't, or not in college, in the NFL. Again, that's a little mystery, but that is another versatility thing that he can shore up both sides, and I think that would fit perfectly with Mike Vrabel.
I agree. My one counter to that is they just signed Carlton Davis for a 3 year, $60 million contract to be opposite of Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah,
So they don't
and
need a corner two, which is why I don't think they go Travis Hunter. If they were going to go a receiver, I think they would go Tet McMillan.
D-Mac, yeah.
But I don't think Mike Vrabel is the type of guy to reach on a receiver this early when he can just take the best defensive player and it kind of lays in his lap. So that's my opinion on it and why I think he goes Mason Graham. But like you said, I could also see them going Travis Hunter as well, but it just
I
doesn't make
think
as much
Travis
sense.
Hunter's versatility is his biggest selling point. Mason Graham, I think Mike Vrabel knows what he's getting with Mason Graham, so I could definitely see Mason Graham going here. So we'll draft Mason Graham there.
Yep. Then in my mind, that makes the Jaguars picks pretty easy for them. I think,
Travis Hunter.
yeah, I think the Patriots basically made up their mind. The Jaguars are potentially going to go just basically the opposite of whatever
Yeah,
they were going to pick, right? So I think they would just happily take Travis Hunter here.
100% agree. We just talked about him. And now the Jaguars need a corner, and they also probably need a wide receiver too. Um, Travis Hunter is a huge pickup for them, and they're ecstatic that they got him.
Absolutely. Trying to look up really quick who the Jaguars have signed so far.
I don't
They have
believe.
signed Jordan Lewis, a corner, and they've signed Deami Brown, a wide receiver. So still could use some help on the wide receiver side, as well as they could use a secondary corner as well. So it kind of just works out for both of them. They can use them however they see fit, both sides of the ball if they please. So makes sense to me.
Moving over to the Pete Carroll Vegas Raiders, now QB'd by Geno Smith.
Good for them. Good for them. Happy for
Where,
them.
where do you think they're going here?
You want me to tell my pick first?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do the shocking pick. I think they go Armand Membu.
Ooh.
Now, a lot of people are going to like Genty here, and I do agree. I like the fit. Pete
Empty.
Carroll likes to run the ball. He's the best running back available. I get that. But you have to remember Pete Carroll's last 2 years in Seattle, they took Ken Walker in the second round. They took Zach Charbonnet in the second round. Pete Carroll knows the value of running backs you can get in the later rounds. One of his favorite picks of all time running back, Chris Carson, he got in the seventh round. He loved him. I don't see Pete Carroll spending the sixth overall pick on a running back position when he can shore up his offensive line and get another running back in the second round to run behind. The options that are really stand out to me are Will Campbell and Armand Membu. The only reason I'm going Armand Membu is because of the combine. He showed out of the combine, has the versatility to slide into guard if things don't work out, and potentially could be a really good guard at that. But the Raiders need a right tackle. I think they start with Membu at right tackle, move him into guard as needed down the road. So that's my ideal fit for him.
You think he's going Membu over Campbell?
I do. Higher upside.
I do agree with the offensive line here, the offensive line pick. Maybe it's part of me that I'm hoping Membu falls to the Seahawks because that's I would love if Membu ends up on the Seahawks. I would be ecstatic. I'm kind of realizing he's not going to fall there,
No, I don't
so
either.
I'll allow Membu to go here and just let him go and let my hopes and dreams go.
As another option, I could see Pete Carroll trying to get somebody like Kelvin Banks and moving him over to right tackle. It's
Mhm.
probably he's what, the number one tackle in the class, but he's more of a left tackle. I could see Pete trying to be like, hey, let's just get the best tackle regardless of upside and all that kind of stuff. Throw him at right tackle. We know he's going to be solid. So another option. I think they go
Would
offensive line though. Bottom
would you
line.
say Banks is still the number one?
Yeah, just from like film and productivity in college. I mean,
Well, clearly you don't value that with taking Membu over Campbell.
just high upside is what I'm saying. You get versatility, which Pete loves, plus you get the high upside of the athleticism. I think it's going to be something Pete Carroll might not be able to
Membu
turn
can
out.
move. We know
Right.
that Membu can move.
Exactly.
Yeah. Jets here. Uh, Give me their free agency signings.
Oh, the Jets. Not a whole lot. Justin Fields is going to be the big one. 2 years, 40 mil. They also re-signed Jamian Shearfield, linebacker. He re-signed the safety Tony Adams, got another safety in Andre Cisco from the Jags, and signed a corner in Brandon Steffens from the Ravens.
What I'm
This
hearing
pick
right,
could be anything. Just made
yeah,
a lot.
I'm thinking Will Campbell. That's what I'm thinking.
Will Campbell makes a lot of sense because they lost Morgan Moses, who was their right tackle. So Will Campbell would be a good fit for them to plug in at right tackle. I could see that. Again, I could see Banks. I'm sure he's number one tackle on a lot of people's boards. You could also make that case for Ted McMillan. They only have really one great receiver on their team, so they could need some help there. They did just lose DJ Reed, but they signed Brandon Steffens. So they probably think he's going to be their starting corner, so that probably eliminates that position. There's also the pass rush that they've always needed. We've been mocking James Pierce to them a lot. I Because of his character flaws, you will. I don't think he goes as high anymore. I just really don't. I don't. I bet they go offensive line. Aaron Glenn coming from Detroit. We already see what Ben Johnson's doing with the Bears offensive line. I feel like just the Lions. mentality that been rooted into these coaches' mind is just get good offensive linemen. So I think I'm gonna take Will Campbell if it was me.
I agree.
It was a long way to get there. Sorry to
Now
be
we move.
long-winded like that.
Now we move to the Panthers. My Panthers pick here is I'm a big Jalen Walker guy here to the Panthers.
I've been seeing that a lot. I do like it. I think it makes sense. They haven't signed a linebacker. They've signed a ton of defensive tackles, which have been kind of crazy. And re-signed two corners. I, I'm good with I'm good with Jalen Walker. They need a good pass rush help. Plus, he can also play versatile at a little bit of off-ball linebacker too, as needed.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. I think it's a great fit. So
Now.
this one's a little hard for me.
This one is a little hard. Again, Saints are the team that could use pretty much anything. I've always liked Will Campbell coming here just because of his versatility. They have not signed an offensive lineman yet, which is kind of surprising. I think it's a little early for them to reach on an offensive lineman, although Kelvin Banks is there. What are you leaning?
I like Kelvin Banks here. I think the number one way to rebuild is to put that line, is to control the trenches. I think we saw it with the Lions. They're on the plus side of their rebuild now. And I think what we saw is they put an emphasis on controlling the line of scrimmage, and now they're an amazing team. So I think as a team that's starting to enter a rebuild in the Saints in salary cap hell, they're not in a good situation. I think getting a sure tackle in Kelvin Banks will help them extremely.
Run on offensive tackles. I do like it. My second option would be Will Johnson. They had a piss poor secondary after Lattimore got traded, so I could see them also going cornerback.
Mm.
But the new offensive coach coming in from Philadelphia, Philadelphia had a great offensive line. I like where your head's at. I think Kelvin Banks makes a lot of sense.
Go Kelvin Banks. The Bears. Now let's talk about an offensive line here.
They
Ben
have,
Johnson cooked. Ben
yeah,
Johnson's over there with a cooking pot stirring.
he has done everything that the Seahawks fans have wanted John Schneider to do. Is what Ben Johnson just did. I don't know if
100%.
it's Ben Johnson necessarily as their GM. I can't think of his name off.
Whatever the Bears are doing, it's working, man.
Yeah,
That
they
is
they're definitely loading up to try and make a strong push for this season. You can't hate it. You got to respect it.
Caleb Williams, big season inbound right here.
I want to know who you think they're going to take here.
Who are their wide receivers? You got DJ Moore and Roma Dunze there, right?
Yeah,
They didn't re-sign Keenan Allen.
did not sign Keenan Allen. I don't know who
You
their
got
third is.
Swift at running back.
Swift and Roschon Johnson.
I like Shamar Stewart, kind of. Shamar Stewart or Mike Green here?
I don't hate the pick. I don't want to make that very clear. I have a, I don't know if this is a popular take or not. The Lions 2 years ago reached on a running back that people thought was crazy high, and it was their guy, and he ended up being the number one running back in Dynasty last year, or just in fantasy football. Did you see Ben Johnson going to get his guy of the future?
Genty?
He built a credible offensive line. He's got the quarterback of the future. He's got two good
Swift?
receivers.
They still have Swift in the backfield, right?
Swift's not that good.
Swift's good enough.
Genty's a heck of a lot better.
I'm not saying he's not, but I feel like Swift's good enough where you can look elsewhere for to strengthen that defense. That defense.
He could. I just don't know if I don't know if Ben Johnson can overlook the best player probably on the board.
I don't.
And you can't tell me that offense wouldn't be fun with Genty.
Or it would be fun, right? Now you got that. That's an insane offense. First of all, that's a fun
I
offense.
don't think Ben Johnson can turn it down. I think that is a wet dream of Ben Johnson that this happens.
But like that defense needs some work.
Does it?
Who are their edge rushers? You got amazing edge rushers on the board right now. You have four elite edge rushers on the board right now.
They signed, they re-signed a defensive tackle. They signed Deo. A de, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that.
You can't
The
if you can't say the name, he probably isn't good, or you don't
three
know.
years, $48 million. I mean, they're paying him more than $10 million a year as an edge. They signed Grady Jarrett on the defensive line.
Grady Jarrett's a good pickup.
So they signed two players on their defensive line, paying them more than $10 million a year. I think they shored up their defensive line as far as their mind are concerned.
All right. I mean, looking at the signings, I agree. Genty here to the Bears.
I really like Gentry here to the Bears.
49ers. Uh,
I think you got to replace Joey Bosa, right?
you got
And
to
they just
replace
and they
Joey
just
Bosa.
cut Leonard Floyd today.
What are you talking about?
The Niners?
Yeah. Joey
Yeah,
Bosa
they.
went to the Niners, right?
Oh no, actually, I just saw that he signed with the. Who did I just see? I just saw the nose pop up.
The
Uh,
Bills?
Bills.
Oh.
Sorry, yeah, I was thinking Bosa, but they still have Nick Bosa. So you have Nick Bosa. You just got rid of Leonard Floyd. Who do
They also
the
got rid of
Niners have
Debo. They also got
otherwise?
rid of Debo. They also just lost Debo.
Yeah, wide receiver. Yeah, but they signed Ricky Pearsall last year. They still have Brandon Ayuk, which he might be out
Ricky
on
Pearsall's
his
that
way
big
out.
body. Yeah,
They
Ricky
have
Pearsall
Jawan
is that big
Jennings,
guy.
who had a really good year last year. They also just signed a wide receiver, Demarcus Robinson. I don't think they go Ted McMillan.
And like Ted McMillan's a big jump ball guy, and that's Ricky Pearsall as well.
They could go Will Johnson though. That's another option as well because they just Ward just left.
Oh,
I'm
that's right.
thinking,
They don't have a corner.
well, they have depth at corner. I just don't know if they have a starting quality. So I could see Will Johnson
Give
like
me Will
Shamar
Johnson.
Stewart or Malik Williams,
Will Johnson.
Mikhail
Will Johnson.
Williams.
Give me Will Johnson.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Dallas. Ooh. CeeDee Lamb. They have Dalton Schultz. No, Dalton Schultz on the Texans now. Who's the tight end for the Cowboys?
Ferguson.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
So they have signed a running back, two defensive linemen, an offensive lineman, re-signed two defensive linemen, a corner safety. Offensive minded coach. They could use a receiver.
They only have CD, and I think Ted
Turpin just
McMillan.
signed a 3-year deal, but he could be their
That's a
slot.
returner. That's a returner
Do they
too.
go McMillan here?
What else will they go? I mean,
They'd have to do
here's the
defensive
thing.
line if they went somewhere else.
Here's the thing. If they go like Shamar Stewart, then they don't re-sign Micah.
They have to resign Micah.
Not if you go draft Shamar Stewart and think he's the replacement.
Yeah. Security. I like Tet. I don't know. Dallas is hard. Genty's just always been the slotted in pick, right? Everybody's like, oh, it's an easy, it's an easy
Genty's not
pick
here.
in Genty. But yeah, he went earlier, so he's not here. So do they just take the best receiver on the board and they need weapons. So I like it. I could see him taking Tet.
We'll go T Mac. Miami. Shamar Stewart.
Think so?
I think so. Or like any of the edge rushers besides McKeel Williams. James Pierce. Is
I could see
he
Mike. I could even see Mike Green sneaking up.
Mike Green? Shamar Stewart. I think Shamar Stewart. Freak athlete.
Okay.
I like Shamar Stewart. Colts.
Why is corners just or not corner? Sorry, tight end just feels lazy.
It does, but I mean, Anthony
Like,
Richardson and Tyler Warren would be such a fun offense.
like DeForest Buckner. Can you name a pass rusher on the Colts?
Latu too.
Oh
UCLA
yeah,
got they
yeah,
drafted
yeah,
last
yeah,
year.
yeah. Latu, Latu.
Latu Latu. That's how you say his name.
Did they go get another one?
Oh, whoa.
I mean, it's just the value of position that's here, right?
Who's
There's
the corner?
edges
Did they just sign a
plenty.
corner? Did they sign Javarius Ward?
Yeah, they got Ward, so I don't think they go corner here because
They don't go DB.
you still have Kenny Moore,
Kenny Moore,
potentially
that's a good name.
safety. No, they just signed somebody at safety. I don't know why it's not
Jonathan
here.
Taylor, running back.
Came in
Wide
by and they signed a
receivers.
safety, so it's not a
Who are your wide receivers? You got Micah Pittman. You got Donnie
Josh
Mitchell,
Downs.
Josh Downs. Oh, you're good on receiver. You're
You're
good at
good on
running back. You're good
receiver
at quarterback. Why are the Colts like Loki underrated?
because they don't have a quarterback. That's their problem.
Whoa, AR is a dog, man.
Well,
Give him Tyler
Danny
Warren.
Dimes is coming in to take his job.
Wrong.
Indiana
Tyler Warren.
Jones is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren makes Anthony Richardson a better QB.
Yeah, I was trying to be original, but Tyler Warren just makes a lot of sense. It's
It
just,
makes so much. If
I
AR
know
starts,
it's tough.
Tyler Warren makes AR a better QB. I don't think you could convince me otherwise. Tyler Warren makes AR a better QB instantly.
It's it's too easy. I was trying to be original. I'm sorry, everybody. I was trying to be original with something there. The
Get a little bit.
Falcons. Do the Falcons
James Pierce Jr.
do the Falcons? I don't hate that pick, by the way. I don't want to call you out there. You have AJ Terrell. They just re-signed Mike Hughes, the corner. Is there a chance they reach on a corner here, or do they just take the layup and take an edge rusher? They did sign Leonard Floyd.
It's an edge rusher. You're right. But they got rid of Grady Jarrett. What about Kenneth Grant?
Who's their
It was Grady Jarrett, but then
I
didn't
know
sign
who's
him.
their head coach? Raheem Morris from he played in the Rams previously. I don't know if Grant's the type of tackle he's looking for. I think I think he'd be looking more for like a more athletic, versatile guy instead of just like a space eater. Like a Walter Nolan makes more sense to me in that
Pull him up.
scheme. Go
So
ahead.
then why not take Walter Nolan here?
I just feel like it's a reach.
It's not. I don't think so.
No, like I
I
feel like
mean,
there's just
based on
better
these
value with
rankings,
Makeel Williams on the board. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
you that's what I'm saying. Like James Pierce Jr. You
But
think they throw him on?
if that's their guy and that's who they want, yeah, Walter Nolan.
I I'd go Walter Nolan here.
All right, let's roll. Let's roll.
I like it. We're getting crazy.
I like the fit is why I like it.
I like it. Cardinals.
Gotta be pass rush, right?
I don't think they go James Pierce Jr. though, because of the character issues. I don't think the Cardinals are a type of team that go for James Pierce Jr.
They did resign Baron Browning. They just signed Josh Sweat.
Oh yeah.
They signed a linebacker, safety, outside linebacker. What's their corner situation looking like? They have that Melton kid.
No, they don't Brian Murphy Jr. anymore. They have one good corner, don't they? What's his name though?
I can't think of his name. I don't know why I'm blanking on this.
But they do have one good, like, decent corner, I thought.
Give me 30 seconds.
What's his name? He's young too.
Starling Thomas
Is that him?
or
I don't.
Sean Murphy Bunting
Sean Murphy Bunting's all right, isn't he?
or Garrett Willie. They could use a corner. Also, a defensive tackle could be huge for them. I could see Kenneth
Wait,
Grant.
no. Take it all back. Buda Baker replacement, Nick Emmanuel.
Wow, it's 16. I
You
don't
know how
hate
big
it.
of a fan.
I want to make it
I'm
very
a
clear that I
big
don't
Nick
hate this
fan.
pick.
I like Nick Emmanuel. Give me Nick to. As a Seahawks fan, I hate this. As a football fan, I love this.
It does
This
make
is
a lot
gonna be
of sense
exciting.
because he can play slot corner too for him. All right, Nick Emmanuel.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
Love
I
that.
hate. I
Love
hate
that.
that. I hate that.
You don't like that?
As a Seahawks, I wanted him at 18,
Oh,
but
I wanted him at 18 too.
but respect it. Respect it. Good pick. Good pick.
Cincinnati.
Bengals need a pass rusher after
Sam
losing.
Hubbard just retired,
Yeah, it's this. This is pass rusher without a doubt.
and you got three amazing ones on the board.
Mekhi Williams, I feel like is just the best edge on the board.
I
I
think
like,
James Pierce is the best edge on the board, talent wise.
yeah, but I don't know if they go. I don't know if they want all that drama.
It's not one to
I
bite on
literally
that.
see Pierce falling pretty
I'm
significant.
not one to bite on the character issues. Jalen
This is
Carter.
this is a different type of character issues. This
I
isn't
don't know, man. They make stuff up.
everybody makes stuff up.
hmm I'm not one to bite on James Pierce or on James Pierce Jr.'s character issues.
I'm going James Pierce to the Bengals.
I'm a big James Pierce fan. He's quick. I think he would be a monster on the Bengals.
All right, I like the player. I'll never said otherwise. Never will. He's a hell of an athlete, great pass rusher. There's just these character flaws that are coming in. So Seahawks at 18.
Please tell me you're going to go where I'm going to go.
The problem is the value.
I don't want to hear it. I want this guy, and I know you're
I
talking. I know we're talking about the same guy right now. I know we're talking about the same guy right now.
so the thing is, who I want them to take and who I think they would take if the board fell this way are two very different things. I want the Seahawks to
You're going
take.
to take Tyler Booker. I know
No,
where
I
you're
think
going
the
here.
Seahawks would take Matthew Golden here.
I want him to take Matthew Golden.
That's my point. That's what I would want them to take. I think that they would either take Tyler Booker or Mekhi Williams.
Yeah, I was right. I was thinking they will take Tyler Booker. I want them to take Golden.
I'm leaning Mekhi Williams.
Whoa, whoa, what? No.
McDonald, defensive minded coach, best player on the board is a defensive player. John Schneider has proven he is unwilling to overpay or reach for offensive linemen. Wide receiver, they have picks in the second and third round that they could grab a receiver.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think Mike McDonald in John Schneider's ear and John Schneider's obsession with trying to just get as much good value as he possibly can at his picks, I think leads them into just taking Mekhi Williams regardless of the need elsewhere. I would hate this to happen as a Seahawks fan, but I just, from everything I know over my past years of watching them, this is what I see them doing.
No, I'd much rather have Tyler Booker. I don't want
Well,
another edge, dude.
I'm
I don't.
100% with you.
We don't need defense at all.
I 100% agree.
The only defense I would ever have the Seahawks taking is Nick, and that's because I'm the biggest Nick Emmanuel fan in the world right now.
I just laid it all out to you. Why I think they would do it. I don't know. What are we rolling with for this?
All right. My breakdown is we have one amazing receiver on our team in JSN. That's a slot guy. We need a guy to stretch the field. Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden is arguably one of the best. You could, in my opinion, Matthew Golden is the best wide receiver in this class. I'm not the biggest T Mac fan. I'm not saying T Mac's bad. First of all, T Mac's a dog. Matthew Golden has that speed. He has that deep threat. He has that stretch the field ability. Matthew Golden. I know you're super high on Matthew Golden. He's your
Yep.
guy. If the Seahawks took Matthew Golden, you will not hear any complaints or anything about me being upset. I will be extremely happy with Matthew Golden. Tyler Booker. Its line's always been a massive thing for the Seahawks, massive bad thing for the Seahawks. Tyler Booker is a great pickup and instantly makes it a better offensive line. I love that pick. Mekhi Williams, get it away from me. I want to throw up.
So who are we
There's no.
picking for the mock?
Could we meet halfway and go Tyler Booker? Well, we're not even meeting halfway. You just use logic. I can't. My heart can't handle another edge. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
We're going Tyler Booker here.
Yeah, we can go Tyler Booker.
Oh, I'm 100% okay with that. Oh, Mikael Williams of the Seahawks breaks my heart.
Do you understand my logic though?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
it's pretty sound logic
If
from
they
Pat.
take an edge rusher there with how this board falls, I think Seattle fans will come for John Snyder's head.
It would be a revolt, 100%.
They would be
Look at the
bad.
Buccaneers.
Bucks.
This pick will either be Mikael Williams or Mike Green.
I agree. I think it's McKeel.
I could convince me either way. I'm not going to throw a fit either way.
Run it. Sean Payton's Broncos. I think this is where we go Matthew Golden.
Um. Uh, I don't hate it. Burden is also a guy I would think here.
Taysom Hill.
From
We do this every time.
I know it kills me.
I think Matthew Golden's just sheer speed.
What did the Broncos sign?
Signed defense, I think, right? They signed a really good
Re-signed a defensive tackle. Signed Dre Greenlaw.
Dre Greenlaw
Eleno Hufunga.
and Hufanga, that's right. Safety.
They could use a pass rusher.
Mike Green?
I don't hate it.
Well, tiny run on edges. The two guys that fell.
Don't hate. Who's Broncos' second corner?
You got PS2 and no clue. I wanted to say Chris Harris.
So then corner would be on the board as well. Sean Payton's so hard to predict. This could be literally anything. I I, I don't hate Mike Green here though. They could use the pass rush help. This could also be a running back.
No, not this early. They're not taking Amari Hampton this early.
You might be surprised.
I don't see Amari Hampton going in the first round.
There's gonna be 2 to 3 running backs taken in the first round.
Who the three?
Yeah.
Who's the third? Henderson?
Henderson.
What? Just look at
I'm
this
telling
running
you.
back class, man. Look at this running back class.
I know. Okay, Broncos. We got to stay on
Sorry,
track.
I'm just
We're gonna run a
Quentin
little.
Cooley's 4.54. Sorry, my bad. Love this running back class.
Here, yeah.
Sorry. Mike Green here.
Yeah, I like it. That's fine.
All right, roll. Pittsburgh. They don't need a wide receiver, let me tell you. I could rant about. Oh, next week you will hear me rant about Pittsburgh. Just warning you right now. I was a massive DK Metcalf fan. Throw it there.
There you were.
What do we have? Corner. They don't have a corner, do they?
I got Joey Porter.
Joey Porter's your starting corner? Give me Barham.
You think so?
I think they'd take a corner, yeah. I mean, what
I
else do
like
they
it.
need?
I'm trying to think of something. Kenneth Grant is the other name that came to mind.
This is where your running back could go.
Amar and Hampton made a lot of sense here as well for me.
I think a corner makes more sense to me, especially with how many running backs there are, as I just went over.
Don't be surprised if a running back goes here.
There's so many running backs, though. If I'm a GM, I'm going, hey, give me Ollie Gordon. Give me Taj Brooks in the seventh. That's a steal.
Just don't be surprised.
Bar in here.
Yeah.
Chargers. I I like either of these Michigan guys, and I think it's obvious that we have to go Michigan guy with. I think Harbaugh is drooling at the board that two of his old guys are here.
So I'm pull up their depth chart. This could also be receiver. But
Now with two
there isn't a
Michigan guys,
receiver that
though,
would make sense. They just
I
signed
think
Najee Harris, so I don't think they go running back. Nose
two
tackle.
Michigan
I
guys on the
bet this is
board.
Kenneth Grant.
Okay, I can roll with that. Here's where I think Matthew Golden goes. Sadly,
Packers?
yeah,
I think they go corner here.
Siobhan Revelle.
Either him or Harrison. After Harrison ran the 40, I think his name's gonna skyrocket.
I mean, clearly in the rankings, he wasn't even up here in our previous mock drafts. But I've been high on Ravel since our first mock draft. I think you've found that out. Ravel is a amazing corner that went to a small school, and that's why his draft stock isn't as high as it should be. I think Ravel is very underrated. I think he's a great man-to-man corner. I'm a big fan of Ravel.
I'm good at that.
All right, Minnesota. You think they go corner here too?
No, because they re-signed. They re-signed what's his name? Byron Murphy. They still need another one.
Yeah, because
This is most likely a corner. Still.
think Harrison or Harrison
It's
or
either
Morrison.
Harrison or Morrison. It's gonna be a scheme fit. I guess I haven't dove into Brian
I think
Flores'
Morrison.
scheme.
I think
So
Morrison.
I'm not gonna argue with you there.
All right,
Both good
Morrison.
guys.
Yep. Houston.
Houston needs a tackle. They traded Larry Tunsil. They traded their right guard. They could also use a center, but this is too early. They need a true left tackle as well. So I think it's going to be, I think Josh Connolly played left tackle.
I believe so, yeah.
So I think they go Josh Connolly here.
Josh Connerly to the Texans. Rams.
Now the Rams, I think
Golden.
Simmons falls in their lap
I was thinking Golden.
because looking
Sean
at their depth
McVay.
chart, they need a right tackle replacement. The wide receiver doesn't make a lot of sense to me only because they signed Devontae Adams. If they wouldn't have signed
Oh,
Devontae
fuck
Adams,
that.
that
Yeah.
wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't make sense.
You think Simmons?
I think they go Simmons to play right tackle for them.
Okay.
Baltimore's hard. I feel
Baltimore.
like they're such a good team every
They
year.
just signed D Hop.
Right. It's like, what do they say? Flowers, Rashad Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins. That's not bad. You just resigned Ronnie Stanley. Your guard situation could use improvement, I guess. I feel like it might be a little early, but there is Tyler Booker available.
They still have Tyler Booker's not available. We Seahawks took Tyler Booker.
Well, is that who we ended up taking? Sorry.
Yeah. What do they still have Roquan Smith?
Oh yeah, and Trenton
Yeah.
Simpson.
Yeah, so they don't. Trent Simpson, Clemson alum. Shout out Trent
Mhm.
Simpson, amazing Madden user. If you need any Madden tips, there's your first get Trent
They're
Simpson.
good on
So they
corner.
don't need Jahad Campbell.
This could
Mark
be
Andrews
this could be a safety
stars.
potentially. I don't
I
love
mean,
that. I'm just saying it could
what
be.
other safety are they going to take?
Oh, I'm just saying they might not need him. Well, who go to the big board? Then they're not going to take corner.
There's nothing here for them to take. Baltimore's
Wow, it's pretty
stacked.
depleted. What have we done to this
It's not
board?
depleted. You got Campbell, you got
Scroll
Golden.
down.
Golden. They just don't need these guys.
Scroll down a little bit.
Got Burden, Ibuka,
I can see
Harmon,
Derek Harmon.
line. I could see it. I mean, what else are they going to take, really?
I think it's just like their biggest need.
Yeah, let's go Harmon.
Plus, he's a good player.
Detroit has so much here in their lap. Dan Campbell is drooling at the mouth with this board. I truly think. Yeah, I'm thinking Jahad Campbell.
He's gonna get just the best guy available.
So you think, well, Colson Loveland is not going here, I don't think.
Well, I don't know if I'd consider Loveland the best available, but
That's true. In this ranking, it is. I
right.
would consider Matthew Golden the best guy available, but I don't think they need a receiver either.
No, he's too Jameson Williams-esque. It would
Yeah,
fit the same role.
I'm thinking Campbell.
I'm trying to come up with an argument of why I don't think that.
You can't because you do think that.
Um, they're set at corner. They're set at safety. They have a good defensive line. I guess they could improve the defensive line a little bit. Their offensive line, they could use a guard with Kevin Zeitler. Well, they got Christian Mahogany who stepped in.
They have Zabel there if you need a guard, but I truly think they go Campbell.
They're the ones to reach on Zabel if anybody would. Like a guy enough to bring him up.
I mean,
Better
yeah,
than
I
you probably should.
agree. You
Seems like
think
a Dan Campbell
Zabel?
pick, right?
Sure,
For the sake of the mock,
sure. Throw her
Ray
in there.
Zabel.
What the hell are we doing?
We're off the walls. We're off the rails.
Commanders. Do they have a tight end?
Yeah, they re-signed Zach Ertz.
Give me Campbell to the Commanders. I'm just throwing Campbell out there every pick. This
What
guy's
do
a
they do
dog,
with
by the way.
Colston Loveland here? Does he
No.
just fall to the Chiefs to be the replacement for Travis Kelce after you? We're getting ahead of ourselves. Commanders,
Jahad Campbell.
you just really want to force a linebacker on him, don't you? But it does make
Because
a ton of sense.
Jahad
I'm good with it.
Campbell is a
Yeah, I'm good
dog.
with it.
Yes, Jahad Campbell is a dog. Matthew Golden here on the next one to the Bills. Perfect fit.
Yeah, I can run with it. Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah. KC.
Loveland, lock it in.
Yeah, we just ran through this.
Predecessor to Travis Kelce. I like that. I like that a
And
lot.
then the Eagles are always going to take a Georgia defender, so they're going to go Stars.
And they just traded away CJ Gardner Johnson. So it just kind of
This just fell into our lap.
happens. There you go.
So going into the second round, notable players still on the board.
I love how
Luther
I
Burden.
said that there's going to be three running backs taken, and there was one.
Yeah, well, where else did you think one was going to go?
Somebody trades up. I could see the
Maybe.
Chiefs taking one.
Well, like right here, you have the Browns. They're not going to take one. The Giants aren't going to take one. Tennessee, probably not going to take one.
I think that's where the Titans take one.
You think the Titans take Hampton at 35?
If he's there, I think absolutely they do.
Sadly, we aren't going in the second round.
I think
Took
the
a little.
Patriots take one. They're at the second round too.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little mini run here. The Raiders will probably take one with Pete
That's
Carroll.
what I mean.
Oh
End
no,
of
they just took
first,
Genti.
early
They just took
second, running
Genti.
backs are going to flying off the board.
Yeah, for sure. With that,
That one kind of got off the rails there. Hope everybody
that was
enjoyed that.
fun mock. That was a fun mock draft. I hope whatever team you're rooting for, you got a player you wanted. I know we're a little Seahawks biased, but I do think I would cry myself to sleep for the next 4 or 5 months if the Seahawks ended up taking Mikael Williams.
He's a good
So
player.
I'm yeah, but he's not needed, you know?
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. So that is the end of this mock draft. This was 3.0, I believe. We have one more mock draft coming the week before the draft. So that's gonna be our little final mock draft, like set in stone. Here's exactly what's gonna happen in this draft, even though we'll probably be wrong half the time.
Everybody is.
Um, Next week we have a free agency frenzy. Like
Recap.
reaction type of
Yeah.
thing. And then after that, we get into position rankings for the actual like draft. So we're going to show our like little spreadsheets of, hey, these are all my quarterbacks, these are all my running backs. We're going to go through that. Just little position rankings, maybe for fantasy, a little. It's where you're going to get your rookie drafts coming. And so stay tuned for that. That's something I'm definitely excited for. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your opinions down below in the comments. Tell us anything you think about us. We will take it, I promise. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace out, everybody.